Let's get more on this story now. And Darrin Porcher joins me from New York. He's a professor of criminal justice at Pace University. Thank you very much for your time. First things first, I just want to ask you, do you think that the releasing of this footage is likely to lead to more protests?
No, I disagree. If anything, I feel that the community is going to regress. One of the things that community in Charlotte has a sincere interest in is transparency in policing, and the police department has failed to meet that. Therefore, once the police department gives the public something to go with, then I think they'd be more understanding that this was a situation that played out the way it did. But the key is you have a lot of people that believe, just based on the victim's wife, that there was no gun present at the scene, and that's what sparked this community outrage, because we've had numerous shootings of unarmed blacks in the United States, and that's what they're hanging to.
So do you think the police are going to release their footage, that what they have?
Well, it's an interesting dynamic as we speak, because initially it fell within the hands of the local police department, which was the Charlotte PD. However, the investigations has since been transferred to the state police, and now the state police are going to be tasked with if they will introduce that video publicly or not. Now, we also have to keep in mind that there's a deadline. In 7 days from now, the police videos will no longer be released to the public. Therefore, there's going to be a steeplechase to try to get it out as quick as possible. If at all possible, it can be done at this stage.
I suppose this puts more pressure on the police to release the footage, doesn't it?
Well, I think it puts pressure on the police, but one of the things that the police have a major concern with is, I genuinely believe that it doesn't provide a line of access that is comprehensive. It can be somewhat subjective, the view that the police have. And oftentimes when you look at a video, it only gives you one dynamic. Therefore, the police department, I feel, wants to introduce a greater, more comprehensive dynamic. But unfortunately, the inconclusive video they have in play, they feel is something that citizens would see as subjective, and people would ride on either one side or the other.
Because the footage that has been released, we don't see the moment of the shooting. We hear it, but we don't see it. And it's not clear whether there was a gun or not. We obviously hear the wife screaming that he is unarmed. Why do you think the family have taken the decision to release this footage?
The family is trying to gain as much moral support as possible from the nation in the wake of these unarmed shootings of African Americans. So I believe that they felt that it was a necessary mechanism in allowing them to gain the access to the community and gain a trust, or I want to say a siding with, or a bias, if you want to refer to as that, with this family moving forward. Because one thing that we could see clearly coming on the back end of this is going to be a civil suit. Therefore, the family is just trying to get all of their ducks in order. So when that civil suit does come into play, they'll have proper fortification and armament to proceed forward. But the criminal proceeding is what's coming first right now. And that is...
Okay, unfortunately, we've lost Darrin Porcher there in New York City, Professor of Criminal Justice at Pace University.